Hi, I'm Hoang-Kim Cung, Miss Nebraska USA 2015, and I'm interviewing with thePageantGuy.com. To understand my crowning moment, you kind of have to go back a little bit. So the whole pageant finale night, I had been extremely calm, which usually I've learned comes from a good thing, and it means I'm probably going to do really well, but I didn't want to get my hopes up. So when they were going through the top four all the way down to me and the first runner-up, I remember saying her title in my head over and over, and when it finally happened, I dropped to the floor and I was just in such shock. I remember when I came back up, she gave me a hug, and I remember thinking, oh my goodness, this is actually happening. And I remember getting crowned and looking out into the audience and thinking, try not to make a bad face. But that didn't happen. The pictures are still pretty bad, but it was just so overwhelming, so many different emotions, happiness, joy, gratefulness, and all wrapped up into one crazy, overwhelming emotional experience. Being the first full Vietnamese American girl to compete in the Miss USA pageant is such an overwhelming experience. The Vietnamese community has really come behind me in all of this. A Vietnamese designer reached out to me. I've been in the press. So many crazy things have happened. I'm going to MC an event at the Kennedy Center this summer, which is a huge honor. I've wanted to do something like this for so long, and growing up, I remember seeing very few Asians, let alone Vietnamese faces in mainstream media, and now being able to go to different Vietnamese communities across the country and show girls, this is possible. I may be the first, but I don't want to be the last, has been really empowering, and I'm hopefully excited to make the Vietnamese community proud this summer. My favorite TV show is White Collar, and we all know Matt Bomer's hot, so we can just move on from there. The show itself is absolutely incredible. I love seeing the life of con artist turned criminal informant in New York City. You don't need to say much more about that. Matt Bomer's crazy to look at, but I just love how the plot just revolves and moves on. They don't stick on one thing for too long, and I just love seeing the show move through the city. We have art, we have fashion, we have so many different things, and then Matt Bomer's cool to look at. This drives my friends and family absolutely crazy, but I have to document food with a picture before we eat. So say if one person's food arrives and the rest isn't there, I'm like, wait. We have to wait and take a picture because I think it's so important. Food is so beautiful. A chef slaved over it so you could eat it, so it's beautiful. Why not take a picture? And I embarrass everybody because I get on top of my chair if I have to get an angle from the top that looks best in photos for food. And I take a picture and I upload to Instagram, and I think it's so important because people think pageant girls don't eat, but I'm a total foodie. I eat so many different things so many times a day, and it's great to show that we're not just eating salads. We are being healthy, but we have cheat meals. Like I had a milkshake 2 nights ago and it was absolutely delicious. My favorite Vietnamese dish is actually not pho. I think that's kind of, overrated. I love bánh canh, and it's spelled Banhcanh. You gotta try it. Give it a shot. Go to a restaurant. Give it a try. My dad, when he first introduced me to this dish, I was a little girl. I thought they were worms. Like the noodles were so thick, like 3 centimeters. Come on, like that's a worm floating in my bowl. I'm not eating that. But he was like, no, honey, give it a try. And I was like, okay, Dad. And I tried it and I really, really liked it. And it stuck with me from a little girl all the way to now. The broth is incredible. The flavors, it just kind of like explodes in your mouth. It's so delicious. You have to give it a shot and ignore the fact that there may be worms in your dish. Just ignore it. I'm so grateful to my family. They've made so many sacrifices for me to be on this road to Miss USA, and I'm forever grateful for all of that. I'm also thankful for the Vietnamese American community. They've really gotten behind me on this because I'm the first full Vietnamese American girl to go to Miss USA. I'm so proud of it, and I'm so humbled, and so cảm ơn cộng đồng Việt Nam đã ủng hộ Hoàng Kim đi thi Hoa hậu Miss USA. And not only that, but my director, John, he's such a generous, genuine, kind man, and he's really made sure I know what I'm doing and I have the steps necessary to take it at Miss USA. And speaking of that, Nebraska's never brought the crown home before, so I'm so excited to bring the crown back home to the Cornhusker State.